Oh, let's get all the conjecture. What does the comment mean? You think he's ironclad through next year? Do you think it's just coach speak? Do you think it's the Fords going full Ford? Are you in evaluation mode like at least I am? Where, look, I think after the start headed into the bye, everything should be on the table. Your performance will speak, and your performance will dictate whether I pay you next year to coach football. And that's just where I'm at. Maybe you believe, hey, I'm not getting rid of them. I don't care if they go 1-16. It's all a part of a master plan. You do whatever you like. David, couple of ticket texts. We'll get to the callers.
If you step back and look at the whole picture and how all their moves or lack thereof stacks up, you can draw any other logical conclusion than the Lions' intent internally set 23 as the season they are looking to compete. Todd from Trenton. Oh, that's depressing. I've soured on Dan Campbell a lot since Hard Knocks. The "we have a defense" comment was most damning because, newsflash, we don't have a defense. That is from Will. Love that the players want to play for him, but Campbell has showed he can't coach in the big moment. Z and Warren. He'll get a chance next year and fired halfway through, which is another problem for Detroit.
See, right there, that's what I don't want to see, because I think this town deserves better than that, because that means you let a lame duck coach go into the draft, and I don't know if Brad Holmes is going to be connected with them, and possibly make a selection that could set your team further back. You could see what happened when Quintricia took Okuda and passed on the QBs in that draft. Think about how far along the Lions would be right now. But instead, no, you know what? We're going to try to get Stafford over the hump, and, yeah, it didn't work out that way.
Someone says she's frustrated. What about the city? What about the fans? We're all frustrated and have been for years. When Jets, Giants, and Jags actually threaten a playoff run, then I'll freak out. Rather have a better pick for Will Anderson than be the 7th seed.
Oh, there it is. There it is. Just keep tanking. Keep tanking like it's the NBA. You're totally right. Let's take Will Anderson. That'll be exciting.
Lions.
Guys, you know what kills me too, guys? And I mean, maybe I'm wrong. So you mean to tell me a franchise that has no culture other than losing brings in a try-hard guy, and you think his message is actually resonating when you go 3-13-1 into potentially 1-7? Guys, you know what the value is in what the Giants, Jets, Atlanta are doing? I leave Seattle out because Pete Carroll is the culture. But the other three coaches, Arthur Smith, Robert Saleh, Brian Daboll, that's how you cement culture. You win. You win. Nothing else matters. So this idea that, well, unless the Giants win a playoff game, no, you don't get it. Brian Daboll right now is already ahead of Dan Campbell as far as culture installation.
Well, yeah, and here's the other thing, because now if you go and you want to go after free agents in New York and they see that, you know what, this team's trying to do something, you don't have to overpay and get some guy who's got like 3 good games left in them. You could actually get people who say, I want to be a part of this. I think you're the next up-and-coming coach. You're the next up-and-coming team. But you keep losing, and, well, you're going to have to pay. You can get somebody here, but my goodness, what you're going to have to do to get that person here, once again, will set the team back financially. But you know what? Hey, let's go get Will Anderson.
Unfortunately, as a Lions fan, I'm already looking up coaching candidates in 2023 mock drafts. This is sad. Frank and Warren. The season turns out into a disaster. We might have to think twice rather than fire him like Rule at the beginning of next season, so they don't want to do.
Yeah, no, nobody wants him fired. See, that's a different comment than stating you might need to do something.
Right. I'm not sitting here. Please don't take it. I'm calling for Dan Campbell's job. My thing is, at the end of the season, if this thing goes sideways, where it looks like the wheels are wobbly right now, now maybe he can self-correct it And in 3 weeks, we throw this conversation out the window, and Lions fans, trust me, David, will sit back and call and tell us what idiots we were. You guys were hitting the panic button way too soon. I'm okay with that. But right now, we can't ignore the wobbly wheel. If it falls off, you got to make the tough choice in the offseason. What are you prepared to do next? Are you willing to just cut them loose or take a chance and set your culture back another 3 years because you allow people who you knew you weren't going to let stay the entire season on the hot seat make selections, and they didn't make it for the team. They made it for themselves.
Let's go to the people. Said it all. Let's go to Brian, 97.1. What's up, Brian?
Hold on. There we go. What's up, Brian?
What's up, fellas?
Hey.
Fellas, you know I love Sports Talk Radio. But I'm going to blame her, not, and the guys on the radio station. I don't want to call no names, 10 to 2, that support this crap and tell us that they're on the right road. Give them time. The foundation, it's the culture. It takes time to change it. It don't. This guy is not a good coach. Rico, you should call for his job. They are going to be. They might win second game, fellas, in the next 3 weeks. You just tell me which game, because I don't believe it. Dan Campbell need to go. This organization told me 9 wins is not good enough, but they accept anything. If your skin color right, maybe I shouldn't have said that. But fellas, Campbell need to go. That brother took that job.
You know what, Brian?
Yeah.
Brian, let me say something.
What?
Brian, let me say something, because I know there have been
Go ahead.
times where you and I have gotten into it in the past, and sometimes race
Yep.
is a part of that, where we disagree on an issue. I want to tell you something. I think you're 100% right. I will tell you that the best benefit Dan Campbell has right now is that he's white, because a minority
Man,
head
Mike,
coach would not be shown the same grace, the same patience.
Right
A
there.
minority coach people would not fall in love with the way they have for all these non-football reasons. You don't have to like what I'm saying, people, but it's reality. And look at NFL history and how quickly minority coaches have had the plug pulled versus your wrestler coach.
Mike,
I
put
just,
it this
Brian,
way.
you can
Mike.
keep going. I had to say that.
Oh, hold on, Brian. Mike, you don't even have to. I know it's maybe a little different. You just got to look up the road and see what happens when a coach says all this stuff and things turn on them and they lose too many games, and how people quickly change their mind.
Brother, y'all, I should give you two guys a hug. Y'all preaching today. You're absolutely right.
It's
Dan
just truth,
Campbell
man.
is not a qualified coach. He is not qualified to get that contract. He shouldn't have got a 6-year. And, man, they going to run that brother. The GM, the brother, they going to run him over. You didn't get to hire the guy, but you're going to be the first one to go. And I'm hearing people talk about we got to hold Holmes accountable. I heard Holmes say they do it by committee. How do we know all these picks and decisions are his alone? But he going to be the first one shown to the door. Hey, fellas, I love y'all show, too. Take care of yourself.
All right, thanks.
I appreciate you, Brian.
Well,
and again, guys,
for me,
listen, I'm not saying what I'm saying to be inflammatory. The truth, you don't have to like the truth. You don't have to want to hear it. But I'm just saying, like, minority coaches with this resume don't get hired. Nor do minority coaches with a better resume get this ironclad status that if there were a guy with this record,
Hold on,
with
Mike.
the worst
No.
defense in history, it would be handled differently. Sorry.
No. How about we put a name to it? Let's just say the Lions hired Eric Bieniemy, and he was doing all of this stuff. He would be pretty much people would be saying, yeah, we made a big mistake. He's never been a head coach before. Maybe it was a rush to judgment. We only took him because he was the hot name, blah, blah, blah. What about all the red flags against him? The Lions probably should have went after another coach. Yeah, if this was Bieniemy, that would be being said right now.
I was waiting for that. Let's go to Josh, 97.1. Actually, hold on. Let's keep it timely. We've been doing a good job of that. We've been responsible adults and radio professionals today. We will get back to the people. Rico's got a little around the league to do at 3:45, 97.1.